Welcome. I want to share something truthfully with you. This isn't the type of video where I list 5 ways to enhance your existence and then vanish. It's not about brief inspiration that fades without any real shift. This is deeper, more authentic. Because today's discussion highlights the gap between a serene existence and a tormented one. We exist in a society where others crave your response. They offend you to dominate you. They overlook you to shatter you. They circulate falsehoods simply to witness your breakdown. And the majority of individuals respond immediately, with feelings, noisily. They forfeit their tranquility. They surrender their command. They relinquish their authority. The tragic reality is that many fail to recognize how much of their existence they're ruining through their own responses. That single dispute that wrecked a bond. That lone message that terminated a romance. That brief outburst of fury that altered it all. So right now, I'm urging you to pause and pay attention. Because if you genuinely grasp what I'm going to reveal, you'll transform into someone who doesn't merely endure. You'll evolve into an individual who's impervious, composed, resilient, concentrated, tranquil. Not due to an effortless world, but because you refuse to allow the world to dictate your thoughts. This video isn't solely for those seeking achievement. It's for those exhausted from being shattered by feelings. It's for those prepared to reclaim their authority at last. And I assure you, if you remain until the conclusion, you'll comprehend a form of resilience that most never discover throughout their lifetime. This video isn't merely encouragement. It also cultivates strong language skills. Each term is straightforward. Each phrase imparts resilience and precision. It's not only about improved communication. It's about enhanced reasoning. Let's start. Lesson 1. Responding impulsively means others dominate you. When a person can trigger your rage with ease. When one remark alters your entire disposition. When you permit their offense, their quietness, their view to unsettle you. You're no longer directing your own path. You're manipulated like a marionette, with your feelings as the chords. Folks believe quick responses indicate strength. But hasty reactions don't signify might. They show you're simple to influence. Each instance you respond thoughtlessly, you surrender something valuable. Your serenity, your vitality, your influence. Now, reflect on this. How many instances in your journey were spoiled because you responded too hastily? How often did you yell at a loved one and later feel remorse? How frequently did you send an angry reply and wish to retract it? This resembles bondage through emotions. You might lack physical restraints, but your feelings are governed by your surroundings. And the harshest aspect is, you remain unaware. For instance, there was a young employee in a workplace. He toiled diligently, worked overtime, adhered to all guidelines. But during a group session one day, his supervisor rebuked him publicly. It was unjust. It was false. In that instant, he erupted. He yelled, debated, justified himself. The group fell quiet. The atmosphere grew strained. Afterward, the supervisor departed composedly. And this young employee became labeled as the volatile one, not the dedicated or clever one. His single response demolished the reputation he cultivated over years. He didn't triumph, he failed. Since he permitted another to dictate his reply. The remedy, the 5-second technique that transforms all. Here's what resilient individuals practice. They hesitate. The next occasion someone offends you, or deceives, shouts, disregards, or belittles you, Refrain from speaking. Avoid movement. Withhold reaction. Simply inhale. Breathe in. Breathe out for 5 seconds. In those 5 seconds, you reclaim what no one else should possess, your command. Because upon hesitating, a wondrous shift occurs. The feeling diminishes. The intensity subsides. Your mind begins to reason rather than rage. You may still reply if required, but your statements will be potent, not foolish. Your deeds will be prudent, not sentimental. This practice, this brief hesitation, will revolutionize your whole existence in partnerships, commerce, conflicts, household tensions, and beyond. Because abstaining from reaction doesn't indicate frailty. It signifies strength. You're invincible. You're liberated. Part 2. Lesson 2. Most impulsive responses turn into remorse. Life has instances we long to rewind and remove. A single note, a word, a yell, a choice, born from rage, dread, or impulsiveness. These are the burdens we bear for ages. You don't harbor the offense they inflicted. You harbor your response to it. You don't retain the setback. You retain your collapse amid it. You don't cling to the issue. You cling to your sentimental reply. People assume swift responses mean authenticity or sincerity. But truly, rapid responses stem from hurt, not strength. Impulsive responding is for mere survival, not for advancement. We yell when we sense insignificance. We accuse when we sense vulnerability. We battle when we sense injury. Yet after the instance passes, what remains? Remorse, embarrassment, sorrow. We begin to acknowledge, I ought to have remained mute. I ought to have paused. I ought to have released it. But then, it's irreversible. Since responses, once executed, can't be erased. Statements linger, deeds persist, and memories endure. Consider it. How many individuals have you alienated due to hasty responses? How many disputes might have been prevented? How many connections preserved? How many serene moments did you spoil merely by letting a negative instance dominate you? And here's the deepest sorrow. At times, you only comprehend the loss when repair is impossible. There was a lady who cherished her younger sibling profoundly. They shared a tight bond, like closest companions. But at a family event one day, the sibling uttered a mocking remark on a delicate matter, stirring an ancient scar. In that second, the lady burst. She yelled before all. She voiced irreversible words. Statements untrue, merely laden with past hurt and suppressed feelings. The relatives stood mute. The sibling departed. Days elapsed. Weeks elapsed, yet the bond never mended. Decades later, that lady frequently gazed at their photo and wept. Not over her sibling's words, but over her own response. One instant, one response, eternal remorse. The remedy: condition yourself to reply, not impulsively respond. This is an outlook, a skill, a routine commitment. When pain strikes, rehearse this phrase mentally: this feeling is genuine. But this response is optional. Indeed, you're wounded. Indeed, it's inequitable. Indeed, you crave to shout. But resist. Rather, hesitate. Seal your lips. Steady your form. Permit the feeling to surge, but stay immobile. Experience it. Permit the rage, grief, dread, but solely in quietude. Label it. Inquire, am I responding to this instant or to an ancient residue within? delay 10 minutes, an hour, or a full day. Only then reply with honesty, composure, strength. This sole practice can preserve bonds. It can safeguard your tranquility. It can secure your tomorrow. Because impulsive responding may seem potent momentarily, but tranquility is mightier, and tranquility avoids remorse. Part 3. Lesson 3. Quietude is an extraordinary ability. Society adores clamor. Individuals endlessly converse, debate, clarify, rationalize, striving to demonstrate correctness, to prevail, to appear robust. But here's a fact absent from typical videos. The mightiest aren't the noisiest. They're the serene ones who require no words to validate themselves. Quietude is often misconstrued. Folks view it as vulnerability. That silence implies fear. That retreating means cowardice. Yet reality opposes this. It demands greater resilience to remain composed than to yell. Greater insight to depart than to quarrel. Greater authority to utter nothing when every fiber urges combat. Quietude is mastery. Quietude is concentration. Quietude is honor. Because in silence, others remain ignorant of your thoughts. They can't predict your next action. They wonder if they've wounded you or if victory is already yours. That enigma is authority. For example, a gentleman faced public shame online from an ex-companion. Fabricated tales, altered images, outright defamation. All anticipated his retaliation. All awaited his defense, his broadcast, his counter. But he refrained. He voiced nothing. Others branded him feeble, timid, culpable. Yet he persisted in silence. Half a year on, reality emerged. The deceiver was unmasked by another. His quietude now symbolized honor, elegance, resilience. While others clamored, he triumphed. Discreetly. The remedy: employ quietude as a tool, not a flaw. No need to counter every slight. No need to justify to those with fixed opinions. No need to share, text, safeguard, or battle for your honor. At times, the strongest action is inaction. Allow your quietude resonate more than any speech. Here's employing quietude effectively in disputes: state, "I comprehend." Then depart. Avoid debate. Let their statements rebound on them. In turmoil, avoid the uproar. Withdraw. Permit truth to surface naturally. In offense, avoid yelling. Avoid tears. Avoid explanations. Gaze into their eyes and remain wordless. Others will observe. And upon noticing, you prevail. Not via response, but via elevation. Part 4. Lesson 4. Not all matters merit your vitality. A major error in existence is battling every conflict, justifying in every debate, validating to every detractor, answering every note, every slight, every confusion. It appears courageous, but actually, it depletes your vitality, tranquility, concentration, and prospects. Because comprehend this: not all is valuable of your moments. Not all warrant your response. Not every dilemma requires your sentimental commitment. Your daily vitality is finite. Each allocation to the unworthy leaves less for the essential. You allocate vitality to rumors. You forfeit it for aspirations. You allocate to resentment. You forfeit for affection. You allocate to drains and ponder your emptiness. Certain individuals seek your response not from concern, but to nourish their pride by seeing you upset, fractured, provoked. They shun tranquility. They crave turmoil. And entering their realm prevents constructing yours. For instance, a university learner, intelligent, orderly, driven. She burned midnight oil, studied intensely, envisioned grandly. But one day, lies spread about her. Accusations of exam fraud. Whispers of her name. Altered gazes. Some ceased interaction. She raged. She penned lengthy online defenses, attempted to convince all. She wept nightly, questioning disbelief in her honesty. Weeks vanished. Focus waned. Studies halted. Dreams faded. She grew resentful. All from investing vitality in what deserved abandonment. She might have stayed mute. Let deeds demonstrate. But she squandered vitality on the undeserving. Years on, she uttered something poignant. I didn't fail from their words. I failed from attempting to mend the irrelevant. The remedy? Guard your vitality as treasure. Here's the approach: mentally list what merits vitality today. If absent from it, abandon. Avoid minor skirmishes. You're not for argument victories. You're for life triumphs. Cease justifying to those dedicated to misinterpretation. If judged already, words alter nothing. Reply only where advancement exists. If dialogue hinders elevation, it's a snare. This isn't vulnerability. It's insight. No obligation to attend every invited clash, for tranquility isn't in every victory. It's in discerning unworthy fights. Part 5. Lesson 5. The composed one triumphs. Society admires those steady amid collapse. Composed individuals earn trust. Composed individuals gain admiration. Composed individuals decide wisely, forge stronger ties, lead robust existences. Why? Composure retains authority. Composure clarifies vision. Composure elevates you to leadership silently. Most exist as tempests. They yell, fret, weep, fault, respond, forfeit mastery, and question failures. But the composed become the antithesis. The serenity that repels turmoil. Composure doesn't negate pain. It means bearing pain resiliently, sans frenzy. For example, a gentleman on a packed train. Abruptly, another entered, intoxicated, furious, shoving, yelling, untamed. Tension rose. Some retorted, some retreated, some filmed, but an elder stayed immobile, serene, unperturbed. The furious approached, primed for confrontation. The elder met his gaze and stated calmly, "Whatever befell you today? I regret it led here." The intoxicated halted. Fists dropped. Gaze softened. He seated and wept. The train hushed, as one serene man altered the ambience. He avoided response. He avoided battle. He grasped what others missed: this isn't personal. That's the knowledge of composed. External tempests needn't ignite internal ones. The remedy: cultivate composure discipline. Composure isn't innate. Train like a fighter for combat. Here's how: inhale deeply frequently. Breathing is a tool. Calm body heeds the mind. Observe prior to speech. Allow revelations of character. Permit scenarios to develop. Then reply strategically, not sentimentally. Disengage feelings before action. Question: from honesty or hurt? If hurt, delay. If honesty, advance. Hone composure in minor issues: spilled drink, late transport, rude note. These prepare. Greater practice in small tempests readies for major ones. Recall: all can yell, weep, fret. But enduring blaze with clarity, gentle speech, wise motion, that victor prevails, as existence trails serene minds, not clamorous. Part 6. Lesson 6. Impulsive response is routine. Deliberate reply is authority. Many overlook this. They don't respond from rage. They do because it's habitual. Impulsive responding became automatic. Sentimental. No longer chosen. Habits evade scrutiny. You simply enact. Offense prompts retaliation. Oversight prompts tears. Traffic cut prompts yells. No pause to query, must I respond? You just do, from lifelong pattern. But here's profound insight: impulsive is mechanical. Deliberate is purposeful. Solely one yields tranquility, triumph, esteem, authority. Grasp the distinction: impulsive is swift, sentimental, unrestrained. From inner scars. Deliberate is serene, lucid, aware. From inner strength. Impulsive resembles eruption, noisy, chaotic, ruinous. Deliberate like sea, profound, stable, impervious. Today, query, machine-like response or masterful reply. Masterful replies govern existence. Impulsive are emotion-governed. For example, a youth served in a bustling eatery. Kind, attentive, courteous. One night, affluent patron arrived, impolite, arrogant, finger-snapping, barking commands, then yelling over delay, deaf, foolish, or idle. Eatery stilled. All expected defense, response, justification, but none came. He gazed, smiled, stated with steady calm, "Sir, I'm striving. If insufficient today, I get it, but I'll serve respectfully, as that's me." Silence fell. Patron, once dominant, shrank. Server, once seeming weak, towered. Manager observed, promoted him that evening. Why? He mastered what few do. Impulsive is reflex. Deliberate is insight. Deep cause of response, unawareness of scars. Childhood oversight breeds overreaction to current. Past shame breeds to minor slights. Past desertion breeds to relational gaps. Thus, responding isn't about the present figure. It's unhealed inner hurt. Until grasped, you'll lavish pain on undeserving. Surrender tranquility to unworthy focus. The remedy? Convert impulsive to awareness, then deliberate. Break routine. Rewire thoughts. How? Hesitate always. Even one breath disrupts automation. That breath forges gap, gap harbors authority. Query, present or ancient. Often, feeling ties to memory, scar, prompt. Awareness reclaims mastery. Reply with honesty, not feeling. Honesty sturdy, feeling volatile. Speak when honesty clear, heart serene. Hone deliberate daily, in trifles. Train on traffic cuts. Train on forgotten replies. Train on inequities. Each instance practices. Each breath strengthens. Society needs fewer impulsives, more deliberates. As those serene, choosing insight over fury, pondering before speech, sensing before action, those ascend, guide, endure, for grace, not clamor. Now your query, persist from past hurt or commence from future resilience. 7. Lesson 7. For tranquility, release pride. People endure silently for reasons. Not always hurt. Not always dread. Not always others. Often pride. That hushed, unseen inner voice claiming they owed better treatment. I must validate correctness. I merit greater esteem. They overlook my worth. That wounds. I can't permit their victory. Thus you respond. You reply. You battle. You clarify. Not from need, but pride's craving notice. Yet overlooked, pride isn't authority. It's captivity. It anchors you in fury, resentment, bondage. Pride craves constant visibility, affection, admiration, esteem, acclaim. When denied, and it will be, pride frets. Fretting pride prompts response. You yell mid-debate as pride declares, unacceptable tone. You counter hate as pride declares, they ignore my essence. You defend in clashes as pride declares, self-protection mandatory. But unwelcome truth, no defense for inherent reality. No proof for existent. No volume for correctness. Dropping pride elevates. Pride dwells in hurt, spirit in tranquility. For example, a gentleman devoted years to a firm. Gave all, time, wellness, fidelity. But abruptly, replaced. Sans regret, thanks, zilch. Rage-filled. Pride roared, how dare? Ignorant of me? I sacrificed all. He sought exposure, vengeance. But first, consulted grandmother, survivor of conflicts, treacheries, hardship, yet peaceful-eyed. She advised, child, heed. Healing isn't disproving others. It's affirming their deeds won't dictate your path. Words transformed him. No battle. No assault. Departed quietly, honorably, clearly. Half-year later, launched own venture steadily. Years on, surpassed betrayers, from releasing pride, embracing tranquility. Why pride prompts response? Pride's noisy. Rejects offense. Intolerates dismissal. Can't endure quiet. Thus, worth challenges, value oversights, unexplained exits explode pride. Danger, pride seeks retribution. Spirit seeks liberty. Choosing pride forfeits tranquility. Respond to all remarks. Debate all idiots. Ruin ties for fleeting victories. Post-war, alone with pride, sans tranquility. The remedy, eradicate pride. Select tranquility always. Crucial, emotion mastery requires pride confrontation. Detect voice. Urge to validate, battle, assault, clarify, hesitate. Query, spirit or pride howling. Permit misjudgments. Challenging, yet potent. Not all merit your honesty. Allow misconceptions. Allow chatter. No debt for comforting versions. Halt rightness battles. Rightness urge traps in wrong vibes. Query, rightness or tranquility priority. Select quiet where pride urges yell. Next offense, fire rising, inhale, grin, depart. Not weakness, but freedom from fragile pride. Recall, worth isn't debatable. No response proves it. No speech guards it. Live it calmly, clearly, confidently quiet. Releasing pride beautifies, cease validation chase. Cease noise response. Cease worth proof. First time, lightness. Liberty. Steadfastness. Tranquility shuns loud. Dwells in stillness, composure, quiet spirit needing no argument wins. That's rare resilience. You found it. Now embrace. Not sporadically. Daily. Less response need equals greater true authority, less pride equals eternal tranquility. Now truth known. No need for every response. No every battle. No worth proof to blind ones. No carrying clamor, turmoil, hurt from world's toss. You're beyond responses. Beyond fury. Beyond fleeting tempests. You're composed. Profound. Stable. Now liberated. Henceforth, never forfeit tranquility. For not, no one. May quiet be strength. Composure, confidence. Insight, lifestyle. When world drags to disorder, hesitate, inhale, recall self. You transcend clamor. Born for superior, tranquility, aim, subtle authority. Remain steady, authentic, ascend quietly, as sometimes silence shouts loudest. Thanks for viewing. I'm proud. From heart to yours, may divinity grant strength, tranquility, indestructible existence. Mind care. Soul guard. Never forget, calmness isn't weakness. It's immeasurable power. Till next, remain resilient, quiet, liberated.